Anyway, so last time we saw what's called that 5-number summary. And, basically it was the minimum, the 3 quartiles, the first one, the second quartile, which is actually the same as the median, and the third quartile and the maximum. 5 numbers. It's sort of like a 5-number summary, that is. And people use it just to see, like, what the variation is in the data. And they also like to graph what's called a box plot. That's just a graphical representation of the 5-number summary. That's really all it is. So, I was going to say that. Okay. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry I haven't emailed the first exams earlier. I did start doing that. So some people got it. Some people did not get the first exam yet back. But I am still emailing those. So just letting you know. All right. So we have that. So getting back to these box plots, I did write out how to draw one by hand. It's also in the book. What's nice is that Desmos actually can make one for you. And I did put the, the procedure here. I mean, essentially you just type your list in between square brackets, and then you type box plot and it'll graph it for you. I'm actually going to do an example of that. I'll do 1 or 2 now, actually. Let me actually go to Desmos now. All right, let me stop sharing this. Let me go to, where is it? There we go. Okay, so what I did here was I typed in the data, okay? The data is typed in. There's just some data. I think it's actually data from a previous example from last class, that is. Sorry, an example from last class. What I did do, though, was I divided each data value by 100, because otherwise the data would be too big. So I wrote the data out in a list between square brackets. Then this is what I do next. I type box plot, parentheses, then I type the name of the list, which is L, then a 1, close parentheses. What I would also do is make sure you don't have exclude outliers checked. We're not really going into outliers, and we want to see all the data. So here, what we have is this. So I am moving the graph a bit. Let me bring that back, actually. Okay, and as you can see, this is what the box plot looks like. Let me actually zoom in a bit. I mean, I could hide this by clicking on these arrows pointing to the left. And I could also zoom in, as you can see. You can zoom in by tapping here or here, like so. Oh boy. But here, let me just zoom out a bit. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is what a box plot actually, looks like, okay? We have the minimum here. This side is Q1. That's where it's graphed on, the first quartile. This line is the median. This line is the third quartile. All the way out here is the maximum. All the way out there is the maximum. Now, keep in mind that not all the data on this line, not all the numbers on this line are data values. It's really just showing you how spread out the data is. That's really what it boils down to. So that's a box plot. I mean, they have some examples in the book. I don't think they use Desmos at all, but I'm using that because I think it's nice. So, all right. So that's one example of one. Let me just get that back. Let me go. Okay. So now let's go back to the notes. I did email you the notes, so you should have it, in your inbox. Okay. So let me do that. There it is. Okay. I mean, these were notes from last time, so you do have these as well. All right. So this is actually, again, these are just screenshots of what I just did. So, just showing you in case you don't know how to access decimals for some reason. So, okay. All right. So this is a 5-number summary I was going to have everyone actually try, but I think it might be better if we just all do it together. Mostly because, I just think it'd be better if we do it together now. So let me just get the Google Sheets because I'm going to also show you how you can actually sort the data in Google Sheets. You can actually do that. And I have the sorted data here, but let me just show you how to sort the data in Google Sheets. So here, let me share that. All right, let me stop. I'm gonna have to stop this. Again, the notes you should have in front of you already. So, no. And this is not on the test tomorrow, this stuff. The test, take-home test that is, it's not on there. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so let me actually type in that data now. Can you guys see it? Yes, you can. Good. Close this. There we go. All right. So I'm going to type in the data now. So we have 10, 5. I'm typing it all in a column, as we can see. 7, 6, 4. 7, 6, 4. Okay. 4, 3, 2. 4, 3, 2. 9, 8, 11. And I think 4 and 6 are the last two. No, 14 and 16. Okay. So we have the data typed into a column, okay? I'm guessing you could do this in Excel. The procedure might be a little bit different, but if you prefer to use Microsoft Excel, that's fine. Next, what you do is you highlight the data like so, okay? So we highlighted it. Then go to Data, click. Now you could click on Sort Range here if you want. It'll say, sort by what column, that kind of stuff. Here, you just want to make sure the right column is selected. For us, it's column A. That's where the stuff is selected. Sort by, what the? Oh, there we go. Then, what we have next is you can do A through Z or Z through A. If you click either one, it should work. If you click A through Z, that's the sorting we want. You want to go from smallest to biggest. Normally, what I do is this, though. I go to Data, then I'll go to Sort Range and go A through Z. And now you can see that the data has been sorted. Okay? Now you can see the data has been sorted. Good. Good. Okay. All right. So that's what happens here. Okay. All right. So, okay, so this is what we have here. Okay. Z through A. So with the data sorted, we have that data here as well. Oh, wait, no, you can't see that yet. Let me get back to the notes. Sorry. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. So we have the data here as well. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to actually find the 5-number summary. Again, the min and max you can easily get now, mostly because it's sorted. The minimum is 2. The maximum is 16. Notice also that our n is 14. Okay? That's how many data values there are. And this procedure I did go through last time. The first quartile, okay? That's, again, to get that, you calculate this locator, which is 0.25 times 14. 0.25 times 14, okay? And that's equal to 3.5. 3.5, okay? So since this is a decimal, again, we have 0.25 times n, which is 3.5 in this case. Now, it's a decimal, right? It's a decimal value, that is. So you round up to the next whole number, which in this case is going to be 4. Even if this was 3.01, you're going to round it to 4. Okay? That's what you did. You rounded up to 4. Okay? In this case, that is. So when we do that, that tells us that the data value in the 4th position is what we want to use as our Q1. So the data value in the 4th position is our Q1, our first quartile. And you can see from the data, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is our first quartile. Excuse me.